I always thought the worst thing about my building's elevator was the shudder it made whenever it stopped. But last night, the shudder was different. It was like the metal itself was holding its breath. I was coming back from a late shift, barely awake, when the elevator lurched to a halt between the 7th and 8th floors. The indicator flickered, and then, inexplicably, lit up a floor marked 7.5. It wasn't a joke, and it wasn't there before. I pressed the button, expecting nothing, but the door slid open and I saw a hallway I'd never seen in all my years living here. The air was thick, colder than the rest of the building, and the lights flickered with a weird, sepia glow. As I stepped out, every footfall seemed to echo twice, once in my ears and once somewhere deeper, like the walls themselves were listening. The hallway stretched impossibly long, lined with dozens of framed photographs. I couldn't help but look closer, and that's when I realized every photo was of me, sleeping. But the rooms were unfamiliar, sometimes elegant, sometimes nightmarishly sparse. In one, I was curled up on what looked like a hospital bed. In another, I was sprawled on a stone floor, my face twisted in anxiety. My stomach dropped as I moved down the hall, the images growing stranger. The last few showed me older, beaten down by time, or much younger, a child clutching a ragged teddy bear. None of these memories were mine, yet the detail was impossible to deny. My birthmark, my favorite worn pajamas, even a scar I got as a kid. I started to panic, desperate to get back to the elevator, but the hallway seemed to stretch further with every step, looping back on itself. The photos pulsed with some sick awareness, and I could hear faint whispers behind the glass, like the versions of me inside were trying to warn me. Suddenly, the elevator doors slammed shut behind me and the lights went out, leaving me in darkness broken only by the gleam of hundreds of eyes, my own, staring out from the frames. The whispers grew louder, merging into a single, agonized voice that sounded exactly like mine. It whispered a truth I'll never forget: you never wake up in the same world twice. As I reached for the nearest picture, my fingers met only cold glass, and the hallway began to fill with the sound of distant elevator bells, each one marking the arrival of another me, trapped in worlds I'll never escape.